Welcome in, everyone. We have a huge update with the situation with the United States Army, the United States military, formally recognizing women in Delta Force. This is a major twist that nobody, I think, really expected to come, but we're here. We're going to discuss it. But before we do, I need to ask all of you to please like this video. Please subscribe to the channel. Comment with your thoughts. The more you do all of those, the more it elevates the stories of not just our own American heroes, but our allies who have fought shoulder to shoulder with the United States of America whenever we've done that. So please, I cannot thank you enough. It is so incredibly important. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, and comment with your thoughts. It does more than you guys could possibly ever know. Now, a few days ago, the United States Army's official website published an article that was not an Army release. It wasn't the Army doing a formal press release. It was the Army's website publishing an article that talked about women in the Special Mission Unit at Fort Liberty, previously known as Fort Bragg. And as we all know, the Special Mission Unit at Fort Liberty / Fort Bragg, for the old school guys, is Delta Force, the unit, CAG. It goes by many names. We all know what it is. If you've watched this channel, you obviously know what Delta Force is. And what was really stunning about that, among many things, because remember, the United States DoD's PR branches have never formally acknowledged the existence of Delta Force. In fact, when you talk to Delta Force guys, some don't even like to say the name in interviews because they bring up the point the United States government doesn't formally recognize our existence, doesn't formally acknowledge our existence. We're supposed to be a secret. We're supposed to be in the shadows. So when that article came out, it stunned a lot of people. It stunned a lot of people because not only was it talking about the Special Mission Unit, which is something that the Army, the military, and the United States government never likes to do, it included multiple photos of female members of Delta Force, which was nothing short of absolutely shocking to see. Well, we have a little update for you all. And the update is something that I think everyone's going to find quite interesting. That is this. The article, as of Sunday morning, is no longer up. The United States Army has scrubbed the internet of the article. The photos are all gone. The article's gone. It's a 404 page. You can see, I'm going to throw the 404 page right up here so you can see what it looks like. It's gone. It's over. And that to me is really stunning. Now, here's what I'm going to tell you what I've done and what I think happened. And then we're going to get into clarifying some stuff people talked about from the first video. Here's what I think happened. I think that the article, I think there's two theories. Let's go through theory number one. The first theory is that at some point in the review process, somebody made a call to publish that article when they shouldn't have. The Army realized it and then took the article down once they realized how much attention it was getting, once they realized how viral it was going, and they realized the mistake had been made. The problem with that theory is if you look at the photo credit in the photos of the women, the female operators, which you can see on my Twitter, at D Hookstead, they're up there still. They're also floating around Instagram. You can find them at my Instagram, David_Hookstead. The photo credit on those photos was SMU Public Affairs, Special Mission Unit Public Affairs, which means someone in that line had to look at those photos, sign off on those photos as being okay for release, and then they were put in an article published on the Army's website. So maybe someone came back and said, this was a mistake. We didn't actually mean to put this out there. Let's take it down. That has less to do with attention. That has more to do with just a hiccup in the review process. Theory number two is the attention theory. So as you know, or many of you know, I also write at a website called Outkick, and I wrote not just on my Twitter and Instagram about these photos, which I thought were really cool. I also published an article online that gained major traction and really shined a light on not just the article the Army had posted, but the Army didn't post themselves, but that was posted on the Army's website, and then just kind of explain the situation with everyone. That got a ton of traction, got a ton of attention, just blew up all over the internet. And my guess is someone called and said, what the hell are you guys doing? We're not trying to shine a light on the fact there's women in Delta Force. Get this taken off the internet immediately. And they scrubbed it. Here's something they forgot to scrub, though. They didn't scrub the PDF uploaded file of the article, which is still out there if you know where to look. I'm not going to link it here because it's obvious that the Army and the United States military and the government does not want this out there at this point. So I consider myself a good American. I'm willing to talk about the news, willing to break it down, willing to analyze it. I'm not going to go out of my way to reshare information that the government has decided to pull offline for security reasons. So that's what I think happened. Those are one of two avenues that could possibly have been gone down. That leads me to my second point. There was a lot of people when the article was published and when I talked about it in the first video who wanted to reach out and say, these aren't actual members of Delta Force. They're not operators. They didn't go to OTC. They're not actual unit members. And so let's clarify that. Let's talk about that. Let's get a few things straight and make sure everyone here is on the same page because it shouldn't be that complicated. At no point have I or anyone else that I know of ever said a woman has done selection, the long walk, gone to OTC, and then been assigned to one of the 4 assault squadrons. I've never said that. That has never happened. That is not at all what I've claimed. That is not all what anyone I know who works in this sphere has claimed. Let me be crystal clear. Look me in the eyes. I'm looking you all in the eyes. There is no female assaulter in Delta Force. No woman has gone to selection, done the long walk, passed OTC, and then been assigned to one of the 4, what they call Sabre squadrons, which are A, B, C, and D. Do we all have that on the record? So everyone understands that. So now I can stop having people jump in screaming about how they're not actual members of Delta Force. They are part of different squadrons. Delta Force has many different squadrons that do many different jobs. They have recon. They have intel. They have the operational support troop, which I believe now is recalled G Squadron. Little news flash for everyone. They have their own flight wing squadron, which we don't need to get into right here today. Women can fill a lot of roles in Delta Force, and they go through their own selection and assessment process. Then they go through their own advanced training if they want to make it into the unit. It is not OTC. It's not the long walk. Their training and selection is molded for whatever specific job they might do. What's an example of a job a woman in the unit might do? Intel analysis. Not intel analysis like I'm talking on boring computers. I'm talking the A game, the big stage, the primetime show. Intel analysis, here's a big one that I've been told by many, many, many people, and it's out there. This is not some secret. It's been written about. Recon. Having women with you, if you want to do intense recon, invasive recon, can be very advantageous because a group of guys who don't really look like they belong there might draw a little attention. They look like they're just out and about with their wife or girlfriend. Maybe not so much. Maybe that doesn't draw nearly as much attention. So they all have their own little worlds, their own little spheres they're working in. There's a famous story about a woman in Delta Force that parachuted into Yemen to conduct recon on the situation on the ground. I believe that was in 2002. She went in with 2 assaulters, and they conducted a highly classified secret mission in Yemen. They parachuted in. So all these people on the internet need to take a break. They need to take a deep breath. They need to understand that many things can be true at the same time, that they might not be assaulters. They're not assaulters. That's just a fact. And yet they're still members of Delta Force. And you don't need to take my word for it. If you ask anyone who's in Delta Force, are you a member of Delta Force if you're in one of the other squadrons? The answer is yes. You are not an assaulter, but you're still a member of Delta Force in a different job. If you work at the unit, if you are a member of the unit, guess what? You are a member of Delta Force. You might not be an assaulter. Maybe you're a pilot. Maybe you're in G Squadron. Maybe you are in an intel role, recon role, whatever it might be. That still makes you a member of Delta Force. It's a little strange to me that some guys get so triggered, some people get so triggered over the idea that there might be women in Army Special Operations. I don't really get it. I don't understand it. I know a woman who came from the unit. I don't know her particularly insanely well. I know her a little bit. Good person. And trust me, she is more than competent, more than capable of doing her job. And I know guys from the unit who speak insanely highly of the women they worked with. So if you doubt it, if you think these women shouldn't be there, then I would encourage you to attend selection. I would encourage you to pass selection and then attend OTC. And then once you get assigned to an assault squadron, which you all the Medal of Honor winners on Reddit appear to believe is very easy, then you can go to the unit, you can work there, and you can determine your own opinions, and maybe you do know more than all the men from Delta Force who have actually served. But my guess is none of you are actually going to do that. You just want to sit and snipe online, and that's fine. So in closing, it is crazy that this article went up, the photos went up, then it came down, it disappeared. I'm reaching out to the Army. I'm trying to figure out what happened, trying to get some answers. Have not heard back from them yet, but I will let you know. If you've made it this far, it means you liked the video. Please comment about what you think of the whole situation. Please like the video and subscribe, and I'll see you all next time.